My name is Cooper Hollis, and this small documentary is about the immigration of Afghani cameleers into Australia. The first Afghani people arrived in Australia in the 1860s. They worked in all areas of transportation, and they brought many camels with them. Camel trains were a crucial part of the life support for Australia's rural communities, because they were needed for such things as transportation of goods, people, and the fact that they thrived in the region. When cars and trucks were introduced to Australia, Afghan cameleers became redundant and no longer needed. Some returned to Afghanistan, while some stayed in Australia to become small property owners. Some of the jobs that camels were used for was hauling large construction materials, telegraph poles, and sometimes even houses. The Afghans brought the design of the saddle to Australia because they were strong enough to take heavy loads and flexible enough to fit the different sizes of humps and camel. In June of 1860, the Royal Society of Melbourne came together to organise the Burke and Wills Expedition, which would start in the south, Melbourne, and travel all the way up to the Gulf of Carpentaria. The Victorian government assigned George James Lindells to obtain 24 camels from India for use in desert expedition. The Afghan Express was named after the pioneering Afghans who created a long-lasting trail into the red centre of Australia. The original Garns line followed the route of the explorer John McDougall Stewart. The Garns symbol is a camel and its handler in recognition of the pioneering Afghan cameleers over 150 years ago. The Maree Mosque was built in Maree, a small South Australian township. It was built for the Afghan community. The Afghans at that point were predominantly Muslims from then British India. However, some did also come from Afghanistan. The mosque was constructed by a cameleer and breeder, Abdul Qadir. Some sources say that the Maree Mosque was actually built as early as 1861. Maree Mosque still stands today, making it the first mosque in Australia and longest standing. From the years 1860 onwards, the Afghan community have contributed so much to Australia's well-being and growth. The Afghan community brought a new form of transport to Australia, as well as introducing a new religion. They also further enabled exploration into the centre of Australia. This is why I believe that Afghan settlement in Australia has greatly affected our story and pushed us closer to the great country we strive to be.